Hi everyone. Wanted to show you how I store my stamps. I've over the years changed from one method to the next, and this is the one that I find really works the best for me. This is sort of following the Jennifer Maguire tips on how to store stamps. So it's using these kind of typically fridge containers, but I think the crafters have now taken over using them for stamps and die storage. It's kind of using her method, except it's different in that I keep the actual original packaging, so you can see in here. I find it's a lot more ecological. It's also more it's definitely more inexpensive. So I do have some of these that have different pouches out because I've got rid of them or they were damaged. So some of them, like for example this one, is on I believe this is an Avriel pocket. But what I like to do is quite often I like to remind myself. So I'm not very good. I love the look of having everything labeled, but I'm not very good at keeping up with that. And I think this way it's just easier for me to keep track of which brand and designer. And often, like in this case here, you get some inspiration on coloring and some uses for the stamps. So I just like to keep that in with the stamp. So in this case, I've transposed it to an Avriel pocket, but if you see in this other example here, this is the actual sleeve that it comes in. All I've done is I cut the end, or in this case, sorry, the top of that sleeve, and that way it's still very easy to take the stamp in and out, and it just means that I don't need to buy additional pocket sleeves, and I can still see everything at a glance. Occasionally, if the stamps come in pockets that if the backing package, if the backing of the package means that it's very hard to read the stamp, then I can transpose them into something that's got just like a white background. I've got different size bins, so I've got these kind of wider ones, and I've got these quite narrow ones that I like for smaller stamps, and sometimes stamps and dies. So in this case I've got the Sizzix storage solution here, magnetic end for stamps. And then if I need to, I can also put them on the side like this. What's really practical is so I can lift them here. They're not that heavy because there's several of them as opposed to one or two bigger ones, and then it becomes quite heavy. And this way I can just pull them over to my desk whenever I need to. Just to show you another variation, so I try to keep them where possible by brand, because then, or by designer, so then I kind of got things together from each designer. The other variation is this bin here that has kind of this divider up here. So I'm loading it with these like this, so I can flip through them. And then the ones at the back, that's where I've got my Tim Holtz and also my Diane Raveley stamps. They're missing here because I'm doing some projects on them. And those, because they're much wider than any other stamp set I have, they wouldn't fit on these ones, on the as front loading ones, so I've got them as side loading ones, and I can still very easily flick through all of them. And like I said, if for some reason I want to have a better look, I can always just take this over to my desk and look at them there. So that's it. Those are kind of my so sorry, just to say, same thing with these ones. So because I think I've run out of space, in this case this bin is dedicated to planning and journaling sets, so I can sometimes also do this to separate them out by theme. So far this is the only thing that I've separated, and then within some of them I will have some dividers. If so you can see here I've got that for backgrounds, and then further at the back I've got some Christmas dividers. I don't do it all the time, because like I said, I think it's a mix and match of what works for me. So if it's not a particular brand or designer, then I'll do it by theme. I'll just say these are stamps, sentiment stamps, background stamps. So I've got, for example, all of my alphabet ones together at the front of this bit here. And then I do have, like I say, some dividers. I just leave these out of cardboard and with a label punch. But I also find it, for particular brands and designers, I find it more helpful to keep it together by the brand, because then if I'm doing something that's kind of Marlene style from Studio Light, then I've got them all here. Same thing with the Tim Holtz, Dina Wakley, got some heartfelts there together. And it kind of continues. So for example, within some of the themes, so within sentiments, I will have, you know, Alter New ones together, and then I have some other brands, and then I've got these Cali Creates, and again, they will be together if possible. So it's not really a rigid system, it's just whatever works, so that it's easiest and quickest for me to find the stamp that I remember having, or if I don't remember it all and I'm just trying to see what I can use. This is a very easy way for me to just browse through them. I can pull the bins out just a little bit to see what's at the back. I can completely take them out and put them at my desk. And it's just an easy, inexpensive system that is the one that's worked the best for me. Like I said, I've tried numerous things throughout the years, and I find that this is the one that really works for me. So hopefully that gives you some inspiration in how to organize your stamping. Well, in this case, they're all either rubber cling stamps or acrylic photopolymer stamps. Obviously, if they are wood mounted, then obviously this wouldn't work. But yeah, so hopefully that was helpful for you too. Until next time, bye.